Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbanger's Kitchen, the heavy metal cooking show that's keto all the way. Anyway, for today's recipe we've got a beautiful broccoli and cheese soup. Oh yeah, I know it's winter where a lot of you are, and in my case it's a 20 degrees Celsius winter, but this soup is so heartwarming and so rich and delicious that it will even warm up the Night King's cold dead heart. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, let's go and make that broccoli and cheese soup. So to make our broccoli and cheese soup, we're gonna start by cutting up the broccoli. Now you don't want to throw away any of the broccoli, but we're gonna start by cutting the florets off the broccoli stalk. Just make sure you cut it as close to the head of the floret. You want to leave as much of the stalks out of this for now. Once you are done chopping up all the florets, set them aside and clean up the broccoli stalk. So remove some of the leaves, cut off the very extreme end of the stalk, and then just roughly chop the rest of it. The idea is that we waste none of the broccoli. Use every single thing that we can. You can even leave on some of those little leaves that are there. They taste absolutely fine in this soup. Once you're done with that, we're just going to take the broccoli florets and chop them up into smaller pieces, because I'm not going to puree the florets because I want to get a bite of broccoli in every bite of my soup. So that's why I'm just going to chop it up nice and fine. Now on to making the soup, and I'm going to make it in my Dutch oven because I said what the heck, I own one, so I might as well use it. Anyway, I'm going to heat up a tablespoon of olive oil, and to that I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter because, well, butter makes everything better. Also, you can use bacon fat or any other kind of fat that you like. It'll just add to the flavor of the soup. Once that's melted down, I'm going to add in one roughly chopped onion, as well as the broccoli stalks which I chopped up earlier. And then you just want to fry that and let it cook. You want to cook it till it starts to get some color. The whole idea here is to develop flavor. You want to caramelize those onions and that broccoli stalk, build in the flavor into that. Now once that's been cooking for a while and you're starting to see some color, we're going to add in a few cloves of garlic. And you just want to fry that till the garlic starts to get some color on it. Now we are going to season this with some salt, some black pepper, some paprika and some cayenne pepper, and give it all a good mix. The idea is you want everything to infuse. You know, when you cook Indian food, you almost like fry out the powdered spices into the oils, and that just gives the whole dish extra flavor. So that's exactly the technique we're using here. I'm also going to throw in some fresh thyme leaves, and since I had some fresh basil lying around as well, I decided to add that. The basil will just give it a nice, like almost minty freshness. Of course, you can completely skip these two fresh herbs if you don't have them. You can alternatively use dried herbs. You can even use some fresh rosemary depending on what kind of a flavor you like. Now this has all been cooking for a bit and everything is starting to get nice and caramelized. You can see the bottom of the pan getting brown with that fond. So now we're going to deglaze it with some vegetable stock. You can also use chicken stock. You can also just use water. No problem with any of them. So we're just going to pour that in. Give it all a good mix. Make sure you get all that fond off the bottom of the vessel you're cooking in. And then just cover it and let it cook for a good 5 minutes. Once that is done, we're just going to transfer it into our blender. Now what I'm going to do is transfer most of the vegetables and leave the stock aside. So once I've transferred most of the vegetables, I'm going to pour the stock into another saucepan. Then I'm going to blitz up those vegetables and then slowly add in the rest of the stock. The idea is I will get a much smoother and creamier soup then. Once that's done, we're going to use the same Dutch oven and heat up a whole tablespoon of butter. And then we're going to throw in our broccoli florets. Now you just want to spread those across the pan and don't touch them for a good 2 to 3 minutes. we want that broccoli to start to get some color on it. You want to let it cook and let it char almost. You know, it has that nice roasted flavor almost. Just every once in a while give it a mix so you make sure nothing is burning. In fact, I'm going to add another whole tablespoon of butter to give it an even more rich taste. So yeah, give that all a good mix now. Make sure nothing is burning or sticking, but make sure you're giving it some nice color. In fact, I'm going to rummage around and pick out a few florets for garnishing later. Just because I have to, because I'm a food show and I need to make everything look pretty. Anyway, once our broccoli is cooked, it's got some color. You can see it's a nice robust green. I'm going to put a sieve on the dish and I'm going to pour out that puree or the soup that we've blended. And the reason I'm running it through the sieve is because I want the creamiest, most decadent soup. Of course, if you like it chunky, meaty and all that, you can skip this step and just pour it in as it is. I prefer to take it to the next level. Once that's done, give it all a good mix. Check your soup for seasoning. If you need some salt, pepper, etc., just add it in. I'm going to add in a little bit of water just to thin it out. A wee bit, not too much. And then I'm going to add in 150 mils of heavy cream and also about 100 grams of cheddar cheese. Oh yeah, you can use whatever cheddar cheese you like. It's completely up to you. And then just give that all a good mix and let it cook till the cheese has melted and it's all one delicious creamy mixture. So at this point, if you want smaller pieces of broccoli, you can actually use your immersion blender and sort of blend it with the soup to get it more creamy. But I prefer to have that texture in my soup. I want to bite into a nice chunky piece of broccoli. So anyway, just let it cook till everything is well incorporated together, and that's it. Serve your broccoli and cheese soup in a bowl, garnish it with a little bit of extra cheddar cheese on top, and I'm going to put one of those broccoli florets to make it look extra pretty. And that's it. Our broccoli and cheese soup is ready. And oh yeah, time to taste. Alright guys, so it's time to taste our broccoli cheese soup, and look who is back on the show. It is my dad.
Hello people. You know, the best part about being the father of a son who cooks is that you get to be part of the best part of the show. That's the tasting. Now I'm going to taste this soup.
Are you ready? Do you like broccoli even?
I love broccoli.
That doesn't sound very convincing, but let's taste. Get a piece of the broccoli. Yummy. You know what it needs, no? Fresh pepper on top. Should put some pepper on.
You know guys, considering it's 5 o'clock in the evening and I've had a huge prawn curry lunch in the afternoon, you normally would imagine a broccoli soup at 5 o'clock. But trust me guys, this is thick, it's creamy, and it's very, very broccoli.
And get those lovely bits of melted cheese.
I'm a bit messy, but it's tasty as hell.
Alright, so you've heard the verdict from the man himself, my dad. And yep, I guess I'm going to see you on the next episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. Don't forget to make this soup. Tag us on Instagram at Headbanger's Kitchen. And yep, see you in the next episode. Cheers and keep cooking.
Bye.
Horns up guys, if you like the video and the recipe, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to support the show, you can either pick up a t-shirt, we've got a whole bunch of them. Links are in the video description box below. Or you can support us on Patreon by clicking here or here somewhere, I don't know where. And you can even watch another episode by just clicking either here or here. Enjoy!